When a billionaire learns that his only daughter and her twin infants are living in extreme poverty in a dilapidated old trailer, he is left completely dumbfounded. He rushes to her rescue without thinking, not realizing that day would change his life forever. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. A clinking sound disturbed the dead calm in James Jones's enormous estate as he cut the steak on his plate and took his first taste of the delicate flesh. As he did every evening, he picked up the TV remote and turned into the state news station. James did not have a family, so he ate supper by himself and watched the news. Since he was a nobody back then, his ex-wife Amelia had departed years before, taking his only child, Jade, with her. James was trying to launch his own business and doing odd jobs at the time, but none of his attempts were succeeding. Amelia divorced him and wed a wealthy guy because she desired a nice life and was tired of him and his hardships. Despite his unstable financial situation and inability to gain custody of Jade, he was still in love with her and would always send her presents on her birthday. James lost contact with Jade after moving to a new state years later due to Amelia's husband's job move. He attempted to contact Amelia to inquire about her whereabouts, but she refused to answer his calls or messages, and even forbidden Jade from communicating with her in any way. James turned his entire attention to his work since he was alone and had no one to adore him. He put in endless hours of labor to reach the status of millionaire. James, however, didn't understand the purpose of all of his wealth, celebrity, or pleasant lifestyle when he had no one to love him. Every evening when he returned home, no one greeted him. He had supper by himself, watched TV, went to bed, and the next morning got back to work. This was hardly the life he had envisioned for himself. James was watching TV that day when a report about women's empowerment aired on the news channel. James showed no interest in seeing any of the ladies the reporter had interviewed, including those from lower socioeconomic classes. Is that all they have available right now? Have they anything more worthwhile to report? He grabbed up the remote to adjust the channel while complaining, but he stopped after that. He halted, stunned to see that his daughter was the next subject the reporter was about to question. Good Lord, Jade! When James saw in the report that his daughter and her twins were living in an old trailer, his eyes welled up with tears. What? Why is she in that place? How could she just... James pointed out. As soon as Jade's address appeared at the bottom of the screen, he knew he was in his car entering the information into Google Maps. Why was Jade in the city? She moved to a new state with Amelia, didn't she? Why had she been left in such horrible shape? James thought there would be an explosion of questions in his thoughts. He cranked up the speed on his car. He was standing in front of the trailer in what felt like hours. It was late, and the darkness made it difficult for him to view the trailer clearly, but he could still tell that it was in poor shape. He continued to cry as he pounded on the door. After a few minutes, Jade came to answer the door. Daddy? Dear God, what has become of you? Additionally, how did you... James gave Jade a firm hug while speaking in a worried tone. Jade, how are you doing? How come you're here? If you were having trouble, why didn't you ask for help? With anger seething in her eyes, Jade shoved him away. It's enough, Dad. Remember that you were the one who abandoned us? Mom filled me in on everything. You loved your company and job more than we did, thus you never wanted us. What's the current purpose of it all? Is that what Amelia told you? James looked astonished. Do you believe that? I do believe Mom, of course. When you weren't there, she was constantly at my side. James gave a headshake. I want to tell you that it's not the truth, honey, if you'll let me explain. It's not. Are you certain? Where have you been during the past years? James exhaled. Please allow me to sit down before I begin. I'm worn out. Without saying anything, Jade widened the door and allowed him into the trailer. James noticed the twins dozing off in the middle of the compact room on an old bed. I hope you get rid of all the bad thoughts you have about me before I give you my side of the tale. In actuality, Jade, your mother moved to a new state with you when you were 10 years old. I never was able to get in touch with her. I used to send you gifts every year. What presents? Thus, she refused to give those gifts to you. He pulled up some of her photos on his phone here. Every little memory I have of you is stored on my phone, including the photos we took and the gifts I gave you. Every time I'm missing you, I glance at it. Every year I used to give you gifts, but I was unable to get in touch with you once you moved to a different state. It was while watching the news today that I learned about you. But what happened to you, honey? What are you doing here exactly? Jade's tears had no limits at this moment. It had been her father that had misled her. Dad, I really apologize. Cancer took Mom's life a few years ago. My stepfather then got married to someone else. I came here because I was seeing this man who said he would obtain a nice career and that we would start a family here. We did establish a family, but one day he suddenly vanished and was never seen again. I could only make it on my own if I did this. I support my girls by working as a tailor. James took her hands in his. Hey Jade, while we cannot alter the past, we can make improvements to the future. I'm bringing your kids along as well. Please. I can't let my kid live this way. This isn't what you deserve. Dad, I have no idea what to say. I really apologize. Maybe I ought to have tried to contact you sooner. I sincerely apologize. His words were, "It's okay, honey." And he gave her a hug. I love you no matter what. I also love you, Dad. Again, I apologize. James offered Jade a prominent job in his firm when she moved in, but Jade turned him down. She wanted to make an attempt since she was motivated by James's efforts. She expressed her gratitude to him for his help and for protecting her, saying that he was the finest grandfather to his twin children. Jade is working part-time as an intern at James's firm and learning the fundamentals of business from him out of a desire to make him proud. However, Jade and James are now happy, and the twins have a loving grandfather, regardless of what happens in the future or if Jade succeeds in life. It is everything that is important. Nothing seems more valuable than a happy family after all. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.